Apparently I have no service where I am right now. I'm on the Gap Trail about mile 67, I think it is, and I wanted to share with you guys all the things that I've learned on this little mini bikepacking adventure along the C&O and Gap Trail, but I have no service, and unfortunately my notes are located on the app Notion, which you need service to access. So anyways, I'm going to be making this video based off of what I can remember of the things that I wrote down about what I've learned on this bikepacking adventure. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Claire. I am 24 years old and I am a solo female bikepacker. I've done one trip with a group of people and I'm going to be doing a trip this winter for 2.5 months in New Zealand and Australia. And I recently just completed the C&O and Gap Trail from DC all the way to Pittsburgh. I did that in 5 days and there were 2 reasons for this trip. One, it was to make sure I was both fit enough to bike across New Zealand and Australia this winter with all of my loaded gear on my bike, and 2, to make sure that I had the proper bikepacking setup. So this video is about what I've learned bikepacking the C&O and Gap Trail in preparation for biking New Zealand and Australia. This was a shakedown ride and let's get into it. The first thing that I learned was having a very regimented system of how I pack my items makes things so much easier for getting ready in the morning and for finding stuff when you're on the bike. I wrote down on the note sheet on my iPhone all of the bags that I had on my bike, and basically I outlined the most important items that I had in each bag. So my sleeping bag always went in, let's say, like the left rear pannier that I had, and I had my food located just to the front 2 fork panniers. Having a system like that, at least for myself, made packing so much faster and so much easier, and also helps you when you're looking for stuff on the road. It makes it just faster to find whatever you need, whether it's a pocket knife or that dried mango that you really wanted to eat halfway through your ride. One of the second things that I learned, if you're doing your own laundry by hand on this bike ride and you are gonna hang it off the end of your bike on your panniers and clip it on, or to have it dry off in the nice summer weather or whatever it is, while yes, you can just slide it under your bungee cords or slide it under your clips, you should definitely reinforce it with something else, whether it is a twist tie or some string, a paracord, like a Titan strap or something. You should reinforce it because there is a chance that 1, it falls off and it's gone forever because you didn't notice that it was gone. 2, it falls on the ground and just gets dirty again. Or 3, which is a little bit worse of the scenarios, it falls off and gets caught in your bike. I did have one of my bibs hanging off the rear of my bike, and it kind of fell out of place a little bit and it got caught in the cassette, and thankfully I stopped the bike pretty soon, but it did rip a couple of holes in my bibs. So if you are drying the clothes on the back of your bike, reinforce it with something. Going off of laundry, I forgot to do this time, but tip number 3 is to bring a mesh bag or some kind of little mesh bag, some kind of little bag that separates your dirty clothes from your clean clothes. Right now, I've just been tucking my dirty clothes within my jersey and then putting that into my stuff sack for my clothing. But what I like to do, and I have done in the past, is you just have a mesh bag that you put your dirty clothes in. That way, when you do it to go laundry, you just grab the bag, and that's how you know what is dirty. And it kind of creates a small barrier separation between your clean clothes. That way, you're not getting all your dirty stuff on your clean stuff. And another laundry tip number 4, this one is not necessary for all people. If you are hand washing your clothes because you're doing a lot of camping, like I am for example, it would be a good idea to get a laundry wash bag. I have this kind here and I didn't bring it on this trip, which was fine. This is a very short trip. And while you can just do laundry in your hands with your laundry soap bar or your Dr. Bronner's or whatever kind of eco-friendly soap that you have, having a laundry bag just prevents you from having to do the laundry maybe on the dirt, or just having to hold it in the air and scrubbing it in the air. Having a laundry bag just makes it easier to clean your clothes while you're on the ride, so you don't have to go to the laundromat every time. You don't have to knead your clothes, let's say on this picnic table where there could be a lot of dirt and dust. I think we are on tip number 5 now. If you are going to be using a water filtration system while you're biking, make sure you bring the entire filtration system. I brought my Sawyer squeeze on this trip because along the C&O Canal, there is well water for you to drink, but it is considered non-potable, so you're not supposed to drink it unless you clean it with something or you boil it. And I was trying to pack very lightly on this trip and I didn't bring all the components of my Sawyer squeeze. because I was trying to save space. And then I got here and I realized my storage squeeze was stuck. I couldn't filter water through it because I forgot to clean it. So it's kind of two things in one. But if you have a water filtration system, one, make sure you clean it, make sure that it's prepared for your trip, and two, bring all of the pieces, because if it breaks or it's clogged or something, you're gonna need to fix it. Tip number 6, I believe it was, keep things like band-aids, hand sanitizer, gauze, just like some very basic level medical supplies in 2 places. One, in your toiletry bag, and then second, stored in a top tube bag somewhere on your bike. The reason being is that if you're using a porta potty or taking a wild piss somewhere and you need to use your hand sanitizer, you're not going to want to go digging all the way into your toiletry bag that might be way underneath in one of your panniers in order to get that hand sanitizer. And alternatively, if you're going to the bathroom and there is no soap and you need to use hand sanitizer, but it wasn't in your toiletry bag because it was in your top tube bag, that's going to be annoying also. So just keep 2 things of hand sanitizer with you, one for on-the-go use while you're on the bike, and the second in your toiletries bag. Same thing with band-aids. There's a chance you're going to, you know, scratch yourself while you're biking. Maybe you'll hit a rock and you'll start bleeding. And again, you're not going to want to dig through all the way into your panniers to go to your toiletry bag where your band-aids are. So it might just be a little faster and a little more efficient to have band-aids and gauze and athletic tape located on your top tube bag. This might be tip number 7, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't write this down on my notes, but I'm remembering it right now. If you have a mechanical issue on your bike, try and fix it immediately. And if you can't fix it immediately, go to a bike shop within 1 or 2 days to fix the issue. If you're bike packing, you're probably going to be biking a lot of miles, a lot of days. And these small issues will only get worse over time if you ignore them and if you neglect them. So just be proactive and take care of your bike really well. Whether you hear a strange sound in your cassette rubbing, whether your shifting is slipping in between gears or has a delayed reaction, or maybe your brakes feel really loose. If you can fix it, please try and fix it once you can. And if you can't, just go find a bike shop and have a professional do it for you, because you're going to be putting a lot of stress on your bike. And the best way to make sure that you don't have worse problems down the line is just to be proactive and take care of them to begin with. So I jotted down a couple of other things last minute that I both remembered and recently thought of about tips for biking that I learned on this trip. Anyways, another one is don't wear a backpack every single day while bike packing. It is really annoying. I have this for my iPad and my drone and my GoPro, and it is a lot to deal with every single day. You know, for one day it's fine to have a backpack, whether it's like for your water bladder or something, but day in and day out wearing a backpack is really exhausting. So please don't have stuff on your back. It's going to stress you out. It's going to hurt your body. You're not going to like it. Going off of taking care of your bike and being proactive, remember to pump your tires every few days. Remember to clean your bike whenever you get the chance. Remember to lube your chain whenever you get the chance. Remember to replace your chain if you've put a couple thousand miles on it. Be proactive about taking care of your bike. It is so important. I know you can forget, and I know that usually when you're only biking a couple times a week, you don't have to do these things all that often, but when you're biking literally every day for months on end, or maybe even just like 3 or 4 days a week for a couple months on end, you need to be significantly more proactive about taking care of your bike. So pump your tires every few days, check the air pressure, lube your chain, scrub your bike, tighten your brakes, whatever it is. Just be proactive about taking care of your bike. You're going to thank yourself in the long run. If you are camping, if you can, always check if your campsite has water, and if it has water, if it is potable water. It is super annoying to go to a campsite thinking that it has water and then you either can't drink it or you were wrong and there's literally no water at all, and now you have nothing to drink and you're rationing your water. Always check your campsite for water beforehand. It is really important. Don't dehydrate yourself. I have been dehydrated before. It is not a fun time. So please always check your campsite if it has water and if that water is drinkable. And the last thing that I will say in terms of bike packing is I'd recommend bringing a bathing suit even if you don't plan on going swimming anywhere, just because if your campsite has like a water pump or something but no shower, or maybe you're next to a river, A bathing suit is a really good way to just clean off your body without having to either get completely naked or wearing a t-shirt and shorts, which could get wet while you're washing yourself. I have most definitely had a friend pump one of those water wells in the Canal while I was in a swimsuit, just scrubbing myself down. So swimsuits are really good for nature showers in whatever way you call it. Definitely use eco-friendly soap, and also bring a microfiber cloth in order to wash your body and your hair. It just makes things a lot easier to scrub yourself with a microfiber cloth, and then it dries really fast. Anyways, that is it for this video. These are all the things that I learned or relearned on this originally 6, now 9-day turned bikepacking trip. But thank you for watching. These are all things that I'll be using and remembering as I'm biking New Zealand and Australia this December, January, and February. So these are real tips being used by someone who actually goes bikepacking. So let me know in the comments below what things that you're going to employ on your trips, and maybe some tips and tricks that you learned that you like to share with other people. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Claire. This is Living by Bike. I do a lot of bikepacking and bike trips and just biking in general. So if you want to support this channel, if you want to see it grow and see more content from someone like me, just click the subscribe button, like and comment, and follow my Instagram and TikTok, which is also Living by Bike. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.